We are inside 5 minutes to the 5-minute gun for Heat 1A at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair. U1, Miss Home Street. U9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting. And U40, Beacon Plumbing, set to come in our Heat 1A. All three boats are in the water. Unofficially, we have about 4 minutes to the 5-minute mark. We will get the official countdown to the 5-minute mark, but we will unofficially be able to get you close to it. Right now on my unofficial watch, it is 8 minutes and 50 seconds until the start. Coming up on 8 minutes to the start, 3 to the 5. Unofficial, that is, but we are inside 3 minutes to the 5-minute mark. We will have an official countdown when we get to 5 minutes.
Going for the top position.
20 seconds to the 5-minute. 20 seconds. I look down to the pit area, Kay Brewer. The lids are down. The lines are off. The adrenaline is turned on. We're inside 10 seconds to the 5.
4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
5 minutes. Race boats can come out on the water now. It is Heat 1A of the 2021 Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair. First away from the dock, Dave Villwalk in the 40, the Beacon Plumbing. Right behind him is going to be the powder blue and white Jimmy Shane. He will come out in the Miss Home Street, and letting the boats clear in front of them is going to be the U9, Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak, and actually Corey is still sitting at the dock, Kate. They haven't even closed the lid on it yet. Look, he's thrashing. By design.
I think so. It's up to each driver with their strategy. Their team has got themselves figured out. We saw them this morning out on the water numerous times working on those timings, those timing marks, Brad, and that's what you were talking about earlier. Timing marks are key.
They really are. You can lose a boat race at the start-finish line if you get across too early and incur a one-lap penalty. But, boy, you don't want to be late either. You will trail the field into turn number 1, and it's tough to get around them. The lid is down on the U9. Corey Peabody sitting at the dock. We'll keep an eye on him, make sure he moves away. Nobody is thrashing down there. I don't think there is any issue here or a problem. Kay Brewer, keep your eye on it there. Let us know.
I'm watching right now, and I still see crew members on the top of that boat on the side. Looks like they might be doing one more adjustment as Sandy Pearl jumps off, pushes the boat out. We're going to see the Pinnacle come right out here onto the course to join Jimmy Shane and Dave Villwalk.
3 minutes and 25 seconds to the start. You saw Jimmy Shane cut the race course there from the back stretch to the front stretch. That's a legal maneuver. Our smaller classes of boats can only cut from the back to the front. The boats on the unlimited circuit can cut from front to back. They do it at the lower end of the race course down where Jimmy Shane is now. He could hang a left and come across, not going to, but he could if he wanted to. Corey Peabody out on the race course in the U9. K. Brewer, 2:55 and counting to our start.
All right, as our third boat makes its way out onto the course, Brad Luce, this is what our fans have been waiting for. The H1 Unlimiteds are bringing out here for Heat 1A.
Heat 1A, this is the title class. This is the headliner. This is the big show. We've got a lot at stake this weekend, but right now it is Heat 1A. And another comment we like to make when we go boat racing, everything builds from Friday through to that final heat on Sunday. And you cannot win the San Diego Bay Fair on the first heat of the weekend, but you can sure as heck lose it. Right now, job one is get out there and score points and score well. 2:15 to the start, Kay.
All right, I was talking to some of our fans out here that were watching and asked, hey, what is the saltwater effect? How does that change the boat? And you'll see they have a huge snorkel on the top of these boats. That is what helps to keep the saltwater out. That can slow you down. We've seen boats that have been stuck in traffic and got a rooster tail and a mouthful of that salt water, and unfortunately, that will put out the fire.
Yeah, that will destroy a turbine engine, and because of that, Dave Villwalk's going to cut the race course right here, but he's going to come in behind Jimmy Shane, who had already come off the top end of the race course. This is some of the jockeying for position. The salt water will destroy a turbine motor as Corey Peabody cuts the race course back to front. Again, a legal maneuver. And because it is salt water, that has inflicted a rule change for this particular race and this race only. Instead of a 7-boat length overlap before you can move over on somebody, you must have a full rooster tail, and it's because of that salt. That's a new rule for this race only. 1 minute and 12 seconds until our start. Boats are at the bottom end of the race course. You're going to see them come up the backstretch. Looks right now like Jimmy Shane's going to have himself in lane number 1. Right next to him is Villwalk. Villwalk's going to be at 2. Corey's going to come by on the outside. I don't think there's much room for any shenanigans right now, K. Brewer. I think they're going to hold their lanes to the start-finish line.
We'll have to wait and see. It's very veteran drivers out here on the course. Corey Peabody steps it up and comes right up next to Dave Villwalk. We talked about Dave Villwalk all weekend long. How many records, how many national champions does he have? 67 of them.
67 race wins. He's won here 9 times, but this is the first heat. 30 seconds until the start. Jimmy Shane, lane number 1. Dave Villwalk, lane 2. The outside's Corey Peabody. When they cross that entrance pin to the top corner here, they got to hold that lane all the way to the start-finish line. This looks good. Inside 15 seconds to the start. Time to put the hammer down. It's about 12 seconds off that exit pin. We are inside 10 seconds in 5. We are inside 5. We're 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. And we are racing here in Heat 1A of the 2021 San Diego Bay Fair presented by Home Street Bank. The start is already under review. So it was very close down there to the corner. Who gets down there first? Jimmy Shane gets down there first. You can only see one boat down there, but he's got company on his outside in that right side rear view mirror. Where is Dave? There he is right there. And there is Corey. Here comes the run up the backstretch. It is Jimmy Shane on the inside. Got a lead. He got through that lower corner quick. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the start is under review. Jimmy Shane flying up the backstretch. He's got a lead on Villwalk. We're going to get an idea just how much as Villwalk flew the boat up the backstretch. A lot of air underneath it. K. Brewer, he was flying the U40.
I don't know if there was anything in the water as he came down that backstretch. You know, Jamie Tane, he's your leader. As we said, the start is under review, and I was watching it on the live stream. I said, man, that looks awfully close. But look at that Home Street. The Home Street VIP tent is excited and cheering on Jimmy Shane as he goes into turn 1, trying to battle off Dave Villwalk of the Beacon Plumbing.
We go 3 times around here in our preliminary heat. Shane is down to the entrance pin of the corner. Still got Dave Villwalk in the rooster tail. Corey Peabody's dropped off the pace just a little bit. Dave Villwalk is showing me something here, but I think he's also getting sent a little bit of a message that if he's going to run with Jimmy, he may have to get on the inside of him. But we still have a ways to go. We are a lap and a half in, Kay. We got a lap and a half to go. And we will have we're getting word of a possible 1-lap penalty on Corey Peabody in the 9. We will continue to monitor the radio, but it's a potential of a 1-lap penalty. Don't put it down in ink. Villwalk still trying to run down Jimmy Shane. Going to stay in that right side rear view mirror, but driving around Jimmy Shane on the outside is a tall order. Kay Brewer, 2 in the books, 1 to go.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. This is going to be a good, exciting first heat. I'm watching it live here on the H1 Unlimited sites. They've got some great coverage, but look, it looks like Dave Villwalk is starting to close the gap between him and Jimmy Shane. Jimmy Shane starting to raise that rooster tail as he goes to the apex of turn 1 and brings him down the backstretch, Pat.
Exit pin of turn number 1. Jimmy Shane got just about a full rooster tail. Remember, this is the Bill Muncie Cup, but he is also wanting to gather points for the team and driver national high points title, which is at stake this weekend. This would be a good start for Jimmy Shane, but he's still got half a lap to go. Beautiful boat ride for the powder blue and white of Jimmy Shane. Dave Villwalk staying right in that right side rear view mirror, but we've only got just the top end of the straightaway to go to complete our Heat 1A. It is going to be Jimmy Shane coming home with a victory in 1A in the home street bank San Diego Bay Fair in lane number 1. Give the checkered flag to Jimmy Shane. Give a checkered flag to Dave Villwalk in the Beacon Plumbing. We will keep an eye on Corey Peabody. He will come down and complete lap number 3. We will see if they make him run an extra lap as a precautionary in the event there is a 1-lap penalty assessed him. We got word of it during the heat, but as far as the start procedure, at least unofficially, it sounds like our 2 leaders, the home street and the Beacon Plumbing, were legal.
What a way to start our weekend. We had a great race in the 1 leaders, and we're bringing out the big boys in the H1. They gave us a good show. Welcome to the 2021 Home Street Bay Fair, race fans.
Want to remind all our fans, that's the way they finished on the water. As we have it, the boats still need to go through tech inspection, and the final finish order must be signed off by H1 officials. So it's all unofficial at this point, and I think that's Corey coming hard up the backstretch doing exactly what we said he would do, which is take a precautionary 4th lap in the event they decide to assess a penalty for him. We will monitor the radio to ensure we understand all that. But Corey is going to come down now and pick up a checkered flag. Again, that was a precautionary lap. If he were to be assessed a 1-lap penalty, it really wouldn't change a whole lot. He would still be our 3rd place finisher. He comes across start finish line, cuts the race. the boat kind of set back at the finger piers there so as they could actually be moving forward and walking with the boat, keeping a hand on it, because they have to have a crew member with a hand on the back of that boat at the 5-minute mark. There you see that crew member walking with the boat away from the dock, and Dave is away. And if we were talking about boats coming out one at a time, I count 1, 2, 3, 4 that all came away from the dock at the same time. It is Tanner Faust time for the final heat. The final heat of the 2025 San Diego Bay Fair. It is the Bill Muncy Cup. It is sponsored by Samson Rope. And we're going to have boats at the start-finish line in 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Is that J. Michael Kelly that got himself squirted there to an inside lane? I think it is, but we're looking kind of up toward the sun. It's kind of tough to see from here, but... And who's this coming down hard on the outside? That's going to be Jamie Nielsen in the U11, the Flavor Pack. Once again, he's coming down hard, and he's going to cut the race course. So already now we're seeing a different line. It was J. Michael Kelly who jumped to the inside and came down here. He was the first boat off the top end of the course. He's got Andrew Tate with him. They're going very slowly here as they cross start-finish line. That is J. Michael Kelly on the right. Then to the left of him, that is the 91 and Andrew Tate. And then it is the U27, Dave Vilwalk, who's running underneath. No, Dave's going to go left. Dave says, I'm out. He makes a hard left-hand turn. He's going to jump over to the backstretch. So now you've got J. Michael Kelly and Andrew Tate just cruising down the front straightaway. Now Mike gives it a little bit of squirt, and he's going to move away from Andrew Tate. So the games are being played now. I thought maybe those two were just going to cruise around the bottom end of the race course, but no. And now what's going on with Dave? Is Dave dropping down? No, I thought maybe Dave was going to fall off a plane and maybe he was losing power. You see him up in the top right corner of the screen. He is okay. He is up and running. I think he was doing that on purpose. Where is Jamie Nielsen? Jamie Nielsen is at the top end of the race course, and he is basically down in the water. He is not moving. Now, a couple of years ago, Tanner, that would have been a penalty because you couldn't drop below 80 miles an hour. But man, oh man, if he is going to sit up there and come down in lane 1 from there to the score-up buoy at 115, I hope he brought his fishing rod. He's got some time to kill up there.
He sure does. He's got about 1 minute and 15 seconds to hold up from a buoy that typically only takes 12 seconds to get to the start-finish line. I mean, the strategy is tough, but it just makes me nervous the boat's going this slow. As we've seen so far, the spray coming off the bow of those hulls has gotten ingested into the turbines and caused problems. Yeah, and Mike just dropped down real low as well, and all of a sudden there was water coming up and over the sponson. Now Dave's got a lot of spray. However, Jamie Nielsen is going so slow up there at the top end. I don't think he's not pushing any water. I don't think he's getting any spray up and in. They've got to be careful. And now Jamie Nielsen has already come off the top end of the race course. He is right at the exit pin. And our 3 boats that are coming up behind him with J. Michael Kelly on the inside of those 3. Andrew is on the far outside right now, but they could move over on Dave, who's in between boats. Now they're going to encounter Jamie Nielsen. Vilwalk needs a hole in there, and he's going to find one. And that's the way they're going to come down to the score-up. Nielsen in 1, Kelly in 2, Vilwalk in 3, Tate on the outside. Our clock says 1:27.6, so 10 seconds, Tanner. Yeah, I can hear stalling in turbines. I can't tell who that is. It looks possibly like it might be Dave Vilwalk, actually, but they all throttle up. We're at 1:15 now, and that's the score-up.
The score-up looked legal. Kelly was the last one to jump on a throttle. He's back a little bit, but he's going to catch up with the teams very quickly, and all 4 of them are going to go down there with wide lane spacing. You see it on the screen. It is Nielsen in 1, Kelly in 2, Vilwalk in 3. If Andrew Tate's going to walk out of here with the Bill Muncy Cup, it looks like right now he's going to have to do it from the far outside, Tanner.
Well, he's got the boat speed for it, and it looked like in the last heat he had the gearing for it as well, and that just may be the plan. Let those guys fight along the inside, take that space on the outside, keep it safe and fast, and use some of that straightaway speed.
Andrew Tate has dropped off the pace. He's on the outside. He's moving. He's rolling faster than anybody is right now. And watch him on the outside. He's going to shoot around the outside of the boats to his left. And he's going to try and bring, of course they all are, they're going to try and bring as much speed as possible to the start-finish line. Inside 13 seconds. You like a 12-second mark? Ooh. I think you got it. We're inside. It is time to roll. It is the Bill Muncy Cup for 2025. We are 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. It appears to be legal from here, and it's Andrew Tate who broke the clock, but he did so on the far outside, so he's got a long way to go. It is Nielsen way back, but on the inside, Kelly is in lane 2. He's going to come out of there. It's Kelly first, but he's got Vilwalk, or is that Tate? That is Dave Vilwalk that is right there with him on the outside. Oh, look at that run down the backstretch. 3 wide. Wow, Kelly in 1, and now Kelly starts to show boat speed. He is gobbling up the 2 boats from BWR Racing. We are 3 wide up the top end of the race course. Kelly in 1, Vilwalk in 2, Tater on the outside. Kelly gets up there first and hangs it on the hook. Michael Kelly.
Vilwalk takes a ride into the rooster tail of Andrew Tate.
We still have a green flag on the race course. I'm not sure what has happened. Right now, coming across our finish line, it is Michael Kelly. It is Andrew Tate. They are tied together as they put 1 in the books. And our boats are all up and running. Dave Vilwalk is back up and running, but our race is down to a 2-boat race right now. It is out front, and it is Michael Kelly. Now here comes Tate. Tate now sticks out by a boat length. Now making a boat length and a half off of Kelly. This is where Tate's going to try and pick this one up. He's got some boat speed. Now the last time up the backstretch, Michael Kelly had some boat speed and was able to gobble up Andrew Tate. Can he do it again? He's closing. He's about 2.5 boat lengths back as they prepare to go to the top end of the race course on the second of 3 times around this race course. Kelly is making up ground on the inside. A great run through the top end for JMK. It is Andrew Tate on the outside. We got a whale of a 2-boat duel going on, Tanner.
Oh, it's absolutely head-to-head. Michael Kelly showing the speed. Andrew Tate not giving an inch on the outside. Both drivers flying the boats for the majority of the straightaways. This is absolutely everything they can get out of these boats.
And this is everything you can ask for in H1 Unlimited Racing. We are on lap number 3. Kelly down there first again. Kelly's down there first. He is showing me some top-end speed on Andrew Tate, but Tate is right with him as they get to the exit pin. Now, can Kelly show some acceleration to go with that top-end speed? This time he's right with Andrew, and here he goes. Kelly showing top-end speed that looks really good up the backstretch. Meanwhile, Vilwalk is running in 3rd. It is Jamie Nielsen running in 4th place, the 3rd of 5 times around the race course. Still Michael Kelly at the top end. Now this time Andrew's going to show his nose to the exit pin. Tate may have grabbed the lead coming off the corner. Kelly's going to have a good straightaway or he may be in trouble. It is Andrew Tate with lap number 3 in the books. He's got 2 boat lengths on him, Tanner.
Michael Kelly just a little bit tighter on the bottom end of the course, maybe a little bit slower exit speed out of the corner. We'll see if he adjusts in the at this corner here, but Andrew Tate fighting some rollers. You saw him cross some rollers right there that may cost him a little bit. JMK looks like he's able to take advantage and squirt on up the inside.
All right, so this time off the corner here, up the backstretch, and we are on lap number 4 of 5. It is still Andrew Tate, but now he's out by about 2.5, 3 boat lengths. They are not going to encounter traffic as Dave Vilwalk and Jamie Nielsen are coming down almost side by side in their race here for 3rd. But the big race for the Bill Muncy Cup is out front. And this time Michael Kelly is better at the top end of the race course. Kelly has made up ground. He had a great corner up there. Bring him down. We are going to get a white flag with 1 more to go. It is Andrew Tate. It's Michael Kelly. He's with him. He's back by a boat length and a half, Tanner.
Oh, the wind is picking up as they go into the wind on this next turn here. Both drivers pushing it absolute to the limit. This is the closest race I've ever seen, actually.
This is one of the better ones you're ever going to see, and this time Andrew's down there first. This is the final lap, and they are going to encounter the wakes of the boats out in front of them. I don't think the boats themselves are going to get in the way, but they may run into some of the wakes. Oh, Andrew Tate showing some acceleration off the corner. He may have just put himself in the good condition. Kelly really flew the sponson. Kelly's flying up the backstretch, and Kelly is closing ground. He's going past Andrew Tate as they get to the top end of the race course. It is Michael Kelly. Andrew Tate is with him. How are we going to come off of the corner? It is Michael Kelly. in the Beacon Electric U8. He is going to come down. The checkered flag flies. It is J. Michael Kelly. U8 Beacon Electric, second place. Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. Coming across right now is Dave Villwalk. He's got another lap to go. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to sit down. That was Tanner, I don't know if we planned it this way, but it wasn't in my book to make sure we saved the best for last. That's as good as it gets.
That was an amazing race with a pass in the very last corner of a long race like that. Just incredible. I'm just glad you just didn't jump off the tower, Brad.
I get a little excited. That was really cool. That was worth the trip down. That was worth the whole thing. That was worth the whole season. My goodness.
Boy, J. Michael Kelly finally puts it together after an entire season of fighting. Just an awesome result.
Our third place finisher, Jamie Nielsen, comes across. I believe he's in third place, and I think Dave still has yet to finish.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
And Dave is up the backstretch right now. He is running outside J. Michael Kelly. He will come around. There you see on the screen, you see the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. There goes Dave Villwalk. He turns inside of Andrew Tate. J. Michael Kelly has slowed considerably up the backstretch toward the top end, and I think he's going to take his time getting back to the pit area. Here comes Dave Villwalk. I honestly did not see what happened to Dave up
Well,
in the
you
top
can
end.
hear compressor stalls just nonstop. You just got.
period. We're 1 minute away from 5 minutes. Okay.
They don't need it? All right.
They got a 5 to the 5. They're all the clocks. So have that squealing fixed next season.
5:45 until the start. Drivers, final information from their teams. Getting strapped in. Lid already down on the U91 Goodman Real Estate, Jeff Bernard. Lid closing on the U1 Miss Home Street with Jimmy Shane. Lid down on the 11 Legend Yacht Transport with Jamie Nielsen. Lid down on the U9 Miss Tri-Cities with J. Michael Kelly. Brad Luce, bring this down to the 5-minute period.
We are inside 10 seconds. Countdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, 5 minute gun. Green flag on the course.
Green flag on the race course. 4:55 until the start. H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes coming out for the Bill Munsey Cup. First boat away from the dock, the U11 Legend Yacht Transport, Jamie Nielsen out of Gig Harbor, Washington. Chartreuse and Royal Blue. Then it's the powder blue and white U1, the Miss Home Street, Jimmy Shane. Won pretty much everything this weekend. Set a course qualifying record here on Friday for fuel-restricted hydroplanes. If you are flying a drone near the pit area, please bring it down now. Bring it out immediately. Goodman Real Estate away from the dock, the U91, Jeff Bernard. J. Michael Kelly already away from the dock. 1, 2, 3, 4 Rooster Tails on beautiful Mission Bay. We are 4 minutes and 5 seconds away from the start. Jeff Ayler, we talked a lot about the heat as we approach the 5-minute mark, but one other piece to the puzzle, unlike in 2021, when we went out for the final heat, we did not know who our national high points champion was going to be. We have already decided our national high points driver. We've already decided our national high points team. That belongs to the U1 Miss Home Street and to the driver, Jimmy Shane. Now there's only one thing and one thing only on the line, and that is the Bill Munsey Cup at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair.
3 minutes and 30 seconds until the start. All 4 boats are up and running. Jamie Nielsen right now past the halfway mark on the back straightaway in Legend Yacht Transport, followed by Jimmy Shane at about the halfway mark now on the back chute in Miss Home Street. Jeff Bernard at the apex of turn number 1, and Miss Goodman Real Estate flanked to his outside. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities. Brad, it's the race before the race. 3 minutes. 3 minutes until the start.
I look for Jimmy Shane to stay outside. He's been there all weekend. I think he feels he's got the speed to cover this field. I think the other piece to that puzzle is the salt water off the Rooster Tail. I don't think he wants to take any chance of getting on an inside lane, possibly being a tick or two late and ingesting some of that salt spray into that turbine motor. The 2 guys that have been out here fighting time and time again for an inside lane are doing it again. Jeff Bernard sitting right in lane 1, coming up the backstretch, and immediately outside his window they can reach out and wave to each other. J. Michael Kelly, 222 at the entrance pin to the upper corner. I think those 2 know where they want to be. We'll see if they get it.
No doubt Jeff Bernard would love to have lane number 1 like he did yesterday in the H1 Unlimited Showdown Championship Heat, but J. Michael Kelly would like to have lane 1 as well in Miss Tri-Cities. Jimmy Shane right now in turn number 2 in Miss Home Street, flanked to his outside. Jamie Nielsen in Legend Yacht Transport. Brad, you need to be at that entrance pin of turn number 2, about that 24, 25 second mark. If you're behind the exit pin of turn number 2 at 12 seconds, it's mash to gas to the start finish line buoy. You want to be there at full song, full throttle, just a crack behind that start finish line buoy at 0. If you jump the gun, that is a 1-lap penalty, takes you away from victory. Brad Luce, a minute 30 away. The field is assembling. down in the I-5 turn.
Yeah, the field is assembling, and I think the lanes are pretty much determined and decided at this point. It looks like Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate is going to have lane number 1. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-City is going to sit in lane 2. Jimmy Shane will eventually come up with the field. He will be in lane 3. On the outside will be Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport. Jimmy Shane, of course, driving the home street. It looks like it'll be Bernard in 1, Kelly in 2, Shane in 3, Nielsen in 4. Jeff Ayler bring our field up to the top end of the race course.
Coming up on the 50-second mark, 50 seconds away from the Bill Muncie Cup winner take-all final at the 2022 Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair. And now Kelly is swerving to the outside. He has left lane number 2, and now he will come back in, and Bernard swings a little bit away from the buoy row. So Bernard remains in 1. Kelly scrubbed off time, lane 2. Shane in 3. Nielsen in 4. Brad loose. Start the Bill Muncie Cup.
Well, I think what we just saw with J. Michael Kelly is that Bernard and Kelly think they're a little bit early. It is Jimmy Shane and Jamie Nielsen going to come up behind the field. They may bring the boat speed to the start-finish line. We're at 10 seconds. Now we are inside. Boats begin to accelerate. We're inside 5 seconds. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, and we are racing here for the Bill Muncie Cup at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair. Down to the lower end of the race course. The start is under review. Down to the lower end. Who is that that's down to this? J. Michael Kelly. Kelly's got the lead on the inside. Bernard is in second place that we can see on the inside of him. There is Jimmy Shane. He fans out just like we've seen a couple of times already this weekend. We got 3 boats going. Ladies and gentlemen, the start is legal. The way they're running on the water is the way they actually are. And it is Jimmy Shane on the outside. J. Michael Kelly flying on the Miss Tri-Cities. He's holding him up, but you're 3 wide to the upper corner, Jeff.
It's Kelly, your leader, in lane number 2 in Miss Tri-Cities. Bernard tucked back in lane number 1. Shane powering on the outside. Brad, they'll come down to complete lap number 1. We got a triple-decker.
You've got a triple-decker at the completion of lap number 1. 3 of them going down to the bottom end of the race course. It is Jimmy Shane with the lead on the far outside, and then it is Jeff Bernard on the inside, but tucked in between the boats is J. Michael Kelly in the U9 to Miss Tri-Cities. Great racing here. Now you're going to see 3 of them fan out off the corner. Shane is your leader in the home street. Kelly is in second in the middle lane in the Miss Tri-Cities. It's the Goodman Real Estate and Jeff Bernard on the inside. He's in third. Jeff, your triple-decker on lap 2.
Beautiful dueling here in the Bill Muncie Cup final. 1.5 in, 3.5 to go. Now Jimmy Shane extends it out, but he is in lane 3, making a 4-boat length advantage over J. Michael Kelly in second in Miss Tri-Cities.
Shane to the top end of the race course into home street, but man, has he got a lot of speed off to the left. And one of the boats that is surprising me, driving amazing, is Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate. In between boats is the U9, and that is the Miss Tri-Cities, and Kelly can't see him right now, but he's in there between boats. Shane with 2 in the books, 3 to go. He's got the lead, maybe 2/3, 3/4 of a rooster tail. We'll see it when they get down to the bottom end of the race course, and we'll have a better idea of the positioning and also the size of the lead. Jimmy Shane has opened up some water. That race for second's a doozy, but this is still anybody's race, Jeff Ayler.
We're coming up to the halfway mark, and Owen Bernard and Kelly just about touched off the corner. We're at the halfway mark of the winner-take-all Bill Muncie Cup. Jimmy Shane extending the lead, making a 10-boat length advantage. J. Michael Kelly fighting for everything in lane number 2 to remain in second in Miss Tri-Cities, but Brad Bernard is not out of it in third in Goodman Real Estate on the buoys.
Now a dynamite race here in the final heat for the Bill Muncie Cup. Shane with the lead now by a rooster tail, but still out on the far outside. The race right now, and it's a deck-to-deck battle between Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate and the Miss Tri-Cities and J. Michael Kelly. 3 laps are in the books with 2 to go. Jimmy Shane got about a rooster tail and a half on the field as he goes down to the bottom end of the race course. We can't see J. Michael Kelly, but he is in there somewhere just to the outside of Jeff Bernard. There's the rooster tail lead for Jimmy Shane in the home straight. Look at second place. It is Kelly by a boat length and a half, Jeff.
They exit the turn. Jimmy Shane extends the lead, making a full rooster tail now in Miss Home Street, but this fabulous duel for second countdown continues. J. Michael Kelly and Miss Tri-Cities, Jeff Bernard and Goodman Real Estate, dynamite dueling for runner-up honors here at the Bill Muncie Cup. Shane enters the corner in front. Bernard lifted the Goodman Real Estate, settled it, but this battle for second is not over.
No, it's not over at all. Jimmy Shane's still got his lead of a rooster tail. Kelly still holding on against Jeff Bernard, and he's opened up a little bit of water. In fact, Kelly's opened up a bunch of water now. He's got almost 3/4 of a rooster tail on Bernard, but Bernard still sits on the inside lane in the Goodman Real Estate. J. Michael Kelly will give him room. Now our boats are beginning to spread out a little bit. Jeff Ayler, they just all got the white flag. This is the final lap for the Bill Muncie Cup at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair.
Your top three in turn number one. Jamie Nielsen remains in fourth in Legend Yacht Transport. Shane now extends it out, making a tail and a half over J. Michael Kelly in second. Now Kelly a tail advantage over Jeff Bernard in third in Goodman Real Estate. 1/2 a lap to go for Jimmy Shane in U1 Miss Home Street. Final turn, final lap. If he wins it, he'll tie the late Dean Chenoweth with 25 career victories in the sport.
Top end of the race course, as Jeff likes to say, the final turn of the final lap for Jimmy Shane, driving the Home Street. Second place has got to go to Kelly on the water, but off the top end of the race course and coming down, your winner of the Bill Muncie Cup at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bay Fair, Jimmy Shane, driving the Home Street. Second place is going to go to J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities. Third will go to the Goodman Real Estate and Jeff Bernard. I'm going to say this before I go anywhere else, Jeff Ayler. Jeff Bernard drove the daylights out of that Goodman Real Estate U91. Coming up the backstretch, about 1/2 a lap to go. We still have Jamie Nielsen driving the Legend Yacht Transport.
What a great way to end the 2022 H1 Unlimited season here at the Home Street Bank Bill Muncie Cup, San Diego Bay Fair. Let's bring Jamie Nielsen across the line, Brad, in fourth in Legend Yacht Transport.
you.